Hey guys, what's up, and welcome to my update to 11 top picks in each role. Now, this is quite early on into the update. Usually I like to wait a week or so, but I'm going away to Singapore next week, and it means that I'm not going to be able to make many videos while I'm out there, so I wanted to do as best I could early on. I know it's quite difficult to make that happen, but let's give it a go. Now, Lane Vox, this guy is not going to go away. He's literally forever meta. Honestly, unless they severely change the way he works, he's always going to be in a good position. His weapon power build path has remained pretty similar, although you could go and test out a Serpent's Mask build path. Go Serpent's Mask into Breaking Point, maybe into something like Tornado Trigger or Bonesaw, and I think that could also be a pretty good build for him given the Serpent's Mask buffs. But Vox is in a really good space right now, so make sure you're continuing to play him. Let's have a look at Blackfeather. Yes, Blackfeather is still there. Serpent's Mask got a buff. Blackfeather got a very, very, very small nerf. So yes, Blackfeather, weapon power, especially in the lane, is going to still be there. I've kept him in the lane this time round, but you can still flex him to the jungle with his CP build path as well, or you could play CP Blackfeather lane. I've seen some people do it, and he's in a good spot as of general. You can play a Dragon's Eye build with him in the jungle. I think that's also quite good. I just haven't put it in here because I haven't tested it enough yet, but Blackfeather still in a very good space. Varia, the new hero on the Halcyon Fold. She is actually really good in the lane. Her jungle clear is kind of mediocre, but she's very, very, very good in the lane. And honestly, her alternating current build path is super strong right now. You can go alternating current, Dragon's Eye, Eve of Harvest, Broken Myth, and that kind of sets you up for success. She's got incredible wave shove. She clears waves really easily. She trades really nicely. And if you overdrive her B, you've got a pretty decent escape tool as well. So yes, Varia, I think, is in a very good position. She's getting banned a lot right now, but I think she's really, really strong. And finally, Baron. Baron is absolutely ridiculous right now. I don't know what it is. Nothing much really changed, but I've just been finding it really tough to play against Barons. So I think he's going to shuffle his way back into my top 4. The build path for him has remained largely similar. You can either pick up the Tension Bow second and go double Tyrant's Monocle after that, or you can go Sorrowblade double Tyrant's Monocle Tornado Trigger, or Sorrowblade double Tyrant's Monocle into Bonesaw, whatever you feel like you need. But Baron, I think, is in a really good space right now. Very, very good lane pick in general, and rounds out my top 4 in the lane. Well, there's a face that we haven't seen for a while. Samuel in the jungle. Now, he had some very minor buffs on the last update, but the biggest buff to him, I feel, was the update to Dragon's Eye. It's a lot harder to lose stacks now, and he can maintain those stacks and become a monster sieging turrets for a very long period of time. So I think the Dragon's Eye changes and the minor buffs that Samuel got last update have rocketed him back into a really successful place in the meta, and he's very, very good at sieging turrets early on as well. So I really like Samuel in the jungle at this point. This one might be interesting, but Skye, with the Dragon's Eye changes, there are no surprise that she is very strong at this point in time. Both her weapon power and her CP build path can be very, very viable. She got some weapon power buffs in the last update as well, but I think her CP build path is very good right now. You could go Frostburn into Dragon's Eye. You could go the Dragon's Eye build that you see at the bottom there. Really depends on what you're going up against. I do think Dragon's Eye is a core part of her kit, though, so don't replace the Dragon's Eye. Whatever you do, I think it's probably one of the most important parts of Skye's kit at this point in time. Here we go. It hasn't been long since we saw this guy. Rime got some really big buffs on the last update, and with a lot of melee heroes coming back into the meta, Glaive is definitely really strong right now. Taka's still there. Rime has a really good position right now, and I think he's very, very strong. I'm the Doom, who is an EU jungler, says he thinks that Clockwork is the best item on Rime. I think Clockwork's really good on Rime as well, but I definitely like the new Dragon's Eye on him too, so feel free to mess around with those items and formulate a build that you think works for you. But I gave you a recommended one at the bottom there, the Eve of Harvest into Dragon's Eye into Broken Myth, but remember, feel free to negotiate your way around those. And finally, Cruel. Cruel is, well, he got a nerf, but Shiver Steel got a buff, and Shiver Steel used to be a very good item for Cruel, and it's kind of opened up his build path to be more aggressive as well. He might have received a nerf on his smite damage, but he also has now been opened up the opportunity with the attack speed on Shiver Steel to go a little bit more weapon power, so more weapon power than Poison Shiv would have provided, and you can go something like Heavy Steel, Shiver Steel into Breaking Point, and then you can finish up that Heavy Steel into a Serpent's Mask, into a Sorrowblade, so loads of options for Cruel, but you can go a little bit more aggressive with your weapon power early because Shiver Steel now provides the attack speed that you need. Moving into captains, yes, my Bae, one of my favourite heroes in the game is back. You know, she's really, really strong. And again, with these captain builds, like I said last time, Fountain is absolutely core. War Treads are pretty decent. And then everything after that is kind of up to you. I like to go Echo all the time in Grace's build. I think it's absolutely necessary. Then, obviously, Atlas Pauldrons and Crucible, depending on what you're facing up against. Churnwalker was here last time, and Churnwalker will stay now. Arden and Lyra got a nerf, and then Churnwalker, just without having been changed, got indistinctly slightly better. He's really strong right now. I recommend trying to practice him a lot. Solo queue, he can be hard to make work. He does rely on your teammates being switched on. But if you're playing in duos or playing in trio queues, Churnwalker can have really huge impacts in games. So Churnwalker is a very strong captain at this point in time. Now, Lyra might have dropped off just because of the major nerfs that she got, but Arden is still okay. Arden, I think, was super strong, especially with the double Echo Gauntlet that he had in the previous update, but he still has a really strong Vanguard. He can still trade quite well early, and even with the nerf to his B, it's not that bad. Arden is still in a good position. He's still a very solid captain. You can still Echo his Gauntlet, you're just not going to get that Venn diagram of Echoes on the field, so it's still a pretty powerful tool to use at your disposal. Just, he isn't quite as strong as he used to be. Not absolutely, you know, S tier, but he's still a good captain in general. And this one might surprise you. Lorelei got heavily changed. They gave her the Lyra and Adagio treatment in the last update and separated out some health scaling and some CP scaling. But I think she's so flexible right now. She can work in protect the carry compositions. Once you get Echo, that makes her really good. She can also work in super aggressive compositions. I think Lorelei is in a really good place as a captain right now. I haven't tried out her CP build path enough, but I'm having great success with Lorelei on this update. So I think she's really, really strong. And that's it. That wraps up my top 4 in each role for Update 2.11. Super early on, but like I said, I'm going to Singapore next week, and I wanted to put out some content before I went, because I won't be able to put out as much content next week, because I'll be, A, casting the Vainglory World Championships, but also B, just won't have the time to do it and have the resources that I have here at home. So hopefully you enjoy it, and I hope you have success this update and climb some elo.